Alright, it is time for me to do the last recipe for the day, and then I'm off. So this time, we're back into the Surf Ballroom at Clear Lake, Iowa, my bad, Iowa, ParaCouples Vlogs 36. And of course, is by my good favorite of mine, Cody and Satori. We are actually back at it again, man, with some more amazingly adventure. I know I was gonna do some more paranormal reactions, and it's gonna be on the way. Hopefully, I can try. So, yeah. But I've been noticed throughout for like seeing the most of these because I haven't been somewhere around here before. And even though it's very interesting to me to see uh, a lot of historic, the history and stuff like that, and learn more about it, because even though I wish I might like go back to like the museum, not the museum next time hopefully, because I haven't been to the museum for over years, and it does like help me a lot. Because of it, I just thought, I'm guessing like seeing a lot of things of it. So yeah, and then also I don't know, like things are very interesting that I want to travel more around here. Even though I would love to go to that Clear Lake or Iowa, which I had never been there before. It looks very interesting, and thanks to Cole and Satori, I always want to like travel more often for a very amazing adventure, just in case. So yeah, but if y'all, like I said, if you want to see some more travel vlogs, it's gonna happen probably soon, hopefully. So yeah, but yeah, so let's check it out in 5, 4, 3, 2. My love, all of my kisses, you don't know what you've been living no more.
On February 2nd, 1959, a chilly Monday night, the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa, hosted the final performance of a landmark tour, the Winter Dance Party. On its bill were 3 young rock icons, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and J.P. Richardson, known as the Big Bopper. They played to about 1,100 enthusiastic fans in this very building. That night was electric, young people dancing and the promise of rock and roll surging. But just hours after the show ended, a tragic decision changed the course of music history forever. Instead of taking the freezing bus to the next tour stop, Harley chartered a small plane from nearby Mason City Airport. Valens and the Big Bopper joined him after seat changes and coin tosses. Shortly after takeoff, in the wintry Iowa darkness, the plane crashed into a cornfield, killing the pilot and all 3 musicians. February 3rd, 1959 became known as the day the music died. Today, the Surf Ballroom isn't just a preserved monument in time. It's a place that continues to evolve. Right next door, the new state-of-the-art Surf Ballroom Music Experience Center brings the story to life with interactive exhibits, artifacts, and a deeper look at the artists who played their final show here. But history is only one part of the journey. The building still pulses with energy, memories, and the feeling that music never truly died, but lives on for the next generations to come.
Hey, it's Cody, and Satori's around here somewhere. There she is. I dragged her out here. This is a Cody video. I am standing in Clear Lake, Iowa at the Surf Ballroom. If you don't know what the Surf Ballroom is, definitely do some research. We're going to check out the museum here today.
Yeah,
You'll learn a little bit. But the day the music died, February 2nd, 1959, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper, they performed their last show here at the Surf Ballroom on the Winter Dance Party tour. And they would leave here, board a plane because the heating system on their bus was broken down. So they wanted to fly to their next spot. And unfortunately, it was snowing that night and a pilot error occurred, pilot mistake, and the plane crashed about 5 miles away from here. And unfortunately, all 3 of them lost their lives. But I've always wanted to visit this location ever since I was little and saw the movie La Bamba. And I wanted to come out here and see this place for myself and check out their new museum as well. So we're going to check this out, and then afterwards we're going to check out where the crash site happened, and they have a memorial there too, I guess, so we'll pay our respects there. But I wanted to bring you guys along and show you this because it interests me, and I know it'll interest some of you as well. Let's go. And right off the bat, they have this little memorial stone here in memory of rock and roll legends. Richie Valens, Buddy Holly, and J.P. Richardson, also known as the Big Bopper professionally.
I keep forgetting.
The above legends played their last concert at the Surf Ballroom, Clear Lake, Iowa on February 2nd, 1959. Their earthly life tragically ended in a plane crash 5.2 miles northwest of the Mason City Airport, February 3rd, 1959. Wow. Yeah, and here's the little butterfly flying around Satori. A Marnock butterfly. Wow. You don't see too many of those anymore.
I don't see a butterfly.
That's beautiful. Wow. That is so cool. Hi. That's neat.
He's following you.
Oh.
He's just following you.
Here he comes.
Oh.
Hi. Just flying around. Oh, there's another one. There's 2 of them.
I think that's a painted lady.
Oh. You must love these flowers.
Unless.
Wow. That's so
I like
cool.
how he flies around us every time he's looking around. It's like, hello.
All right, let's go check out this museum. All right, we just walked into the Welcome Center that's fairly new here. Big Band, Big Beginnings. Yeah, Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly's cufflinks. Worn by Buddy Holly, these cufflinks capture the sharp style that defined both his image and his era. They remain a lasting symbol of the young star whose influence on rock and roll endures. Wow. That's cool. Richie Valens. That's cool. Richie Valens' wallet. Wow. Guitar. These lyrics helped Richie Valens learn the words to La Bamba. What began as a family gesture became the foundation of a timeless anthem where tradition met rock and roll. Wow. That is so cool. There's Richie right there. Here's Buddy Holly. And here's Satori. And the Big Bopper. Wow. Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson. Wow. Oh, his suitcase. Big Bopper's pen and case, briefcase, and collection of handwritten lyrics belong to J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson. More than a performer, he was a prolific songwriter whose creativity extended beyond the stage. Wow. That is so cool. A telegram from Elvis. Western Union telegram was sent to the Richardson family by Elvis and his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, shortly after the 1959 tragedy. Presley's word of sympathy reflected the wide reach of the loss and its impact on the music world. Oh, wow. Wow. Winter Dance Party.
So that's the tour that they were on. Wow. That's so cool. Wow. A whole collection of guitars here. Pete Seeger, B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Bobby V. Oh, the Crickets stand-up bass. That was Buddy Holly's band. This bass was signed by all surviving members of the Crickets during their final performance at the Surf Ballroom in 2016. Part of the annual winter dance party as Buddy Holly's original band, the Crickets helped invent the blueprint for rock and roll. Wow. That was here that night. Waylon Jennings guitar, Chris Christopherson, Rory Clark, Vince Gill, and Gene Simmons. Wow, look at that. That's cool. All right, in this room, we just watched this really cool 360 show. They have a few artifacts. This belonged to the Big Bopper, that belonged to Buddy Holly, and this belonged to Richie Valens, a bow tie here. But in this room over here was this immersive 360-degree show that you're going to have to come here yourself and check out. It's interactive. You can play with the screens and stuff afterwards. And it's just completely the floor, the walls. Look at that around Satori. Isn't that cool? This is a brand new building that they just opened at the beginning of this year, and it's so cool. I've never seen anything like this room before, so you'll have to come here and check this out yourself if you're ever in the Clear Lake, Iowa area. And then over here is a few more artifacts, and then we're going to go over to the Surf Ballroom itself and check that out as well. Wow, Slash's guitar and hat. Oh, that is cool. There's things here that I was not expecting to see. Wow. That's a gold top guitar. Les Paul's vision and Buddy Holly's artistry changed music forever. Wow. And you can pause this and read it if you want. Isn't that cool?
I'll just read.
That is so neat.
Read it after that.
And over here is about sound recording. Shaping the sound handmade for this home studio. This panel helped Les Paul control sound reflections, an example of his hands-on approach to performing audio environments. So that came from his home studio. Wow. Such cool things. I personally can't wait to see the Surf Ballroom itself, though. I've always wanted to visit there. So let's go over there now. Alright, it's a bit windy out, so we just left that new museum building right over here. They just built that building. And now the Surf Ballroom is right over here. And now we can go in and check this out. This is what I really came for. I've always wanted to visit here, and since we were in Iowa for an event, couldn't miss the opportunity to come and see this. So.
Why is Iowa so windy?
You look like you're getting blown away.
My forehead curtain's gonna fly away.
All right, and here we go. All right.
I guess,
See if we can get in.
it's still autumn. It felt like it's still windy for like
Stepping
that.
back in time. Oh, they have all different pictures and stuff over here too. Wow. Hello. Wow. Here it is. Watch your step. Obviously the stage is a lot bigger than what it used to be, but supposedly you can still see the original outline of the old stage. Wow, this is where it all happened. February 2nd, 1959. The last concert happened, and then they'd leave here and board a plane and unfortunately crash. Wow. Can't believe I'm standing here. Surf ballroom. Look at the old seating. Oh, look at the portraits up there. That's so cool. Look at the old booths. These are original booths and seating. Imagine this place just filled up with people. Wow.
It should be like that.
That is so cool. Look at the rows of seating. Oh my gosh. That is so neat. Look at reserved. Isn't that cool? Wow. Isn't this cool, Tor?
Texting my family, I've been telling them to guess where I am on this road
Wow.
trip.
I need to get a selfie here. This is so cool. I can't believe we're here. Surf ballroom. That's so neat.
Just so you can keep them. One of the few times that it shows that I like you.
Oh, wow, okay. But if you come back here, this is the backstage area, and all the artists have signed the walls and stuff. Alright, please refrain from signing our walls. Yeah, I won't do that, I promise. Look at this. The day the music died. You can pause and read that if you want. But here's the backstage area. Wow, I can't believe I'm here.
It's cool that they let you do and see this.
Oh, wow. I saw a video on YouTube where they did like an anniversary show, and inside this box is some of the original people that were here that day that came back, in 2010, all those years later, to kind of do a remembrance thing. You can find that video on YouTube somewhere.
Okay.
But there's so many people that signed these walls. Oh my gosh.
I might be there.
Wow. That is so cool.
I might be there to like sign it.
Here's the
But
stage.
I don't have any.
Wow, they performed right here. Yeah, you can see the original stage here. It was much smaller. See the line? Just like a big semicircle around, and they've extended it out now. But look at this. We're on the stage. Holy cow. Got the chills.
Cool.
I got the chills. This is incredible. This is where it happened. When I was growing up, my grandparents used to always show me the movie La Bamba, right? And that's kind of my first, toes dipping in the water when it came to the winter dance party and this place. And ever since I watched that movie, I was hooked on that type of music and wanting to visit here someday. And I never thought I'd be in Iowa to come and visit here. And we're here. So this is just so cool to me. So cool. If you haven't seen the movie La Bamba, definitely check that out. Or the Buddy Holly movie. All those movies are great. It's just so cool to be standing on the stage right now. That is so neat. Wow. Okay, and this is the view they would have had. Imagine this filled with people. Wow. So, again, see, this is the original stage back here, so very small. And they would have been set up all here. Isn't that cool? Oh, wow. I'm just taking it all in, standing here. Okay, there's more signatures on the wall. And there's Satori. Isn't that cool? Wow. So neat. Jeez. Wow. So then after the show, they would have walked this way. And out of the building, out of the dressing room, probably grabbed some of their stuff. And then left the building to go to the airport to catch the plane, unfortunately. But another cool thing over here that they have preserved is the actual phone booth that Buddy Holly and Richie Valens used. Buddy Holly called his wife and Richie called his manager, and they still have that right over here, which is so cool. Here it is. This payphone was used by Buddy Holly to call his wife, Maria Elena, in New York, and by Richie Valens to call his manager, Bob Keane, in Los Angeles on the evening of February 2nd, 1959. And looks like Buddy Holly's wife signed that at the bottom. Wow. There's the phone. That's amazing. That is so cool. Total chills. Wow. That's amazing. So cool. Alright, I'm walking back in one more time because in the gift shop I just purchased something. Look at this. 1948 original dance floor surf ballroom, Clear Lake, Iowa. This was here. This was here. Original dance floor. So at some point they must have replaced this floor here. And whenever they do restorations, I guess there's a limited number of these because it's only when they do restorations according to their website. And I purchased one of these, and I got one for our friend Ken as well because he is a big fan of the surf ballroom. He actually has an original poster from that winter dance party. So got one for me and one for him. So I had to hold this up in front of the stage because it was here with us. There it is. So cool. It's going in the museum. So here's the gift shop that I got the stuff in. I also got some postcards for our Patreon members. And here's some pictures they have here of the history of the building and everyone who's performed here. So neat. So cool. Wow. Wow. We have this back like bar area over here. Wow. Tribute to Buddy Holly, 50 winters later. Wow. Yeah. I saw videos of this on YouTube. Wow. Tommy Alsop, he's the one who flipped the coin with Richie Valens. Everyone signed the poster there. It's the Big Bopper's son up there. I believe he's passed away now as well. Richie's family. That's Buddy Holly's wife. Wow. And they have these little shadow boxes for each of them. Big Bopper. Hello, baby. His phone. Yeah. And Buddy Holly's case here. And Richie's case. And then here's a map of the Winter Dance Party's tour. Such a cool place. So now we're going to drive out to where the crash happened, and they have a memorial there, and we're just going to stop by and pay our respects there. Okay, so before we head out to the crash site, we obviously couldn't investigate the surf ballroom while we were there because we were there just for a tour, and we didn't want to be disrespectful to everything that they have going on there because it's just really cool to walk around the history of the building and see and stand where all this history happened. But there's plenty of ghost stories on the internet. Now, my sources are the internet, so if I get anything wrong, it's Google's fault. But I found some interesting things that I thought would be cool to talk about. So Tori hasn't heard these yet.
No.
And it kind of lines up with some of the stuff that we were feeling, because while we were walking around there, you can feel, I think it's like a residual energy of all of, not just what happened with Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and Big Bopper, not just their concert, because they just performed. I mean, they thought they were just doing another concert that night, you know? But all of the acts that have performed there, I think, have left their energy in the building.
I think the two places that I felt something while walking around was, one, the stage, which makes me wonder if all that energy put into these performances is just like put into the foundation of this building right there.
Yeah.
Because you feel different when you walk out on stage. But also the phone. when you walk over to the phone
Oh,
booth,
the phone booth, yeah.
as soon as, because for some reason I was walking by and you were over in another area, and I walked by and I felt the need to look to my right, and I look over and I just looked right at the phone. It was just this weird drawn in feeling like I needed to go over there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that was two spots that I felt total chills, and I believe I said in the video, it was the phone booth and the stage.
really,
The two spots. So
I didn't watch the video. Cody's the editor, so I honestly watch with you guys when the video airs.
Yeah,
So,
and of course the crash site, which you're going to see in a moment. But definitely at the Surf Ballroom, those two spots were absolute chills. I don't know if it's because we know what happened in those spots, but the building definitely had a weird feeling. So let me read you a couple of these stories I found.
okay.
So, travel journalist Carrie Dexter visited the Surf Ballroom for Perceptive Travel magazine. She described an overwhelming sense of presence as she walked through the restored 1948 building in her article titled Musical Ghost in the Surf Ballroom. She wrote that the energy in the empty ballroom felt charged, almost as though the musicians from decades past were still lingering in the air. Dexter reflected on standing beneath the vintage murals. Remember those three paintings that were on top in the back of the ballroom there?
I think so.
Yeah, it was Buddy Holly, Richie, and
yes.
Big Bopper. She reflected standing beneath the vintage murals, the glowing neon palm trees, and the same maple dance floor that Buddy Holly and Richie Valens had performed on the night before their tragic death. She remarked that her guide turned to her and said, quote, "You can almost feel them in here with us, can't you?" She didn't claim to see an apparition or hear a voice, but emphasized a palpable atmosphere, the sensation of being quietly watched by the history embedded in the walls.
See, that's kind of like what we were saying. We felt like there was a charge, but you know what's weird, and I don't know if it was captured in the video, because I kind of told you in passing at certain points. I felt like I was hearing conversations that weren't there when there were only two women in the building that we met when we walked in.
Yeah,
and it
we were
sounded
the only
like
ones in there.
We were the only ones in there.
Besides the two workers.
Yeah, besides two workers that were in an office together, two women. It sounded like there was multiple genders talking when we were walking around in that main area. It felt like you were being watched the whole time. So I definitely believe that there's spirits there still interacting, like it's performing night.
Yeah, and they still do performances there too. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still doing concerts, so I think that's keeping that energy alive. It keeps feeding it over and over again, which is why it just stays that strong. Here's another cool one. So, multiple visitors, and this is actually another spot that felt kind of weird. Multiple visitors, including musicians and tour guides, have commented on the heavy emotional energy in the Surf Ballroom's backstage green room, the room where all the signatures are.
That was a little strange.
Yeah, though not always in formal ghost report form, the green room, covered in decades of performers' signatures, is often described by staff as carrying a, quote, charged or, quote, electric energy rooted in countless historic performances. While no mainstream publication reports a specific apparition tied to the room, it mentions Carrie Dexter again, notes that performers and guides often comment on the atmosphere back there, a feeling of layered time, of, quote, memories pressed into the walls. Some guests have claimed to feel sudden cold spots or shifts in the mood in that area. These are not quantified accounts, but are repeatedly acknowledged by people who spend significant time in the building.
Well, there was so many nerves happening behind stage before performance. There might have been so much drama that people don't even know about that happened in the green room. And you literally put your name, these people put their names into the building structure.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like stamping your energy just a tiny little bit. I feel like everywhere we go in this life, we're stamping a little bit of our energy into things that matter to us. And I think that transcends into the spirit world as well. So I definitely think that there's some sort of imprint in that room.
And remember, out of all the places in the Surf Ballroom, what was a big decision maker for the night that, Richie and Buddy and JP, they lost their lives, that coin toss happened in that green room.
It did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, between Tommy Alsop and Richie Valens. It happened right there in the green room.
Oh. See, I don't know the whole...
Yeah.
See, because I as much as
supposedly. I mean, we weren't there. That's
weren't
what reports say it happened in that green room.
I don't know the full story. I do know the story, and I do absolutely admire these musical artists and the imprint they left. But like, I kind of went blind into this, so I don't know all those details. For some reason, I thought it had to do with the phone booth that the coin flip happened.
No, the phone booth is just where they called. Richie called his manager, and Buddy called his wife.
Okay.
And I guess they regularly did that, but tension was building because the bus kept breaking down, and they had their next stop was Fargo, North Dakota, and it was freezing. It was like below 20, below 30 degrees.
Okay.
Temperature out there, and the heater on the bus was breaking. That's why he chartered the plane.
I get why they chartered the plane, but something in me is still going, why did they let that plane fly in those conditions? Like, what? There was some mistake that led to that plane being allowed to fly in those conditions.
Well, it was also a pilot mistake too, and I don't quote me on this, but I believe I read somewhere that the pilot failed like one of his tests, like a couple months before, somewhere in the range.
And the
before
fact
that flight.
that it was still able to go through, like the fact that it still happened, it makes you wonder, like, are there all sorts of signs around us all the time that things are going to happen and we just don't pick up on them?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Here's another little thing I found. The Surf Ballroom is referenced in Travel Iowa's Spirited Adventures, Iowa's Best Haunted Spots, where it is listed as a location with an atmosphere steeped in emotional residue and musical history. Although Travel Iowa does not document a specific ghost, the publication categorizes the Surf Ballroom as a location with haunting lore due to its historical connection to the tragic final concert of Holly Valance and Richardson. Their inclusion is based on the building's legacy, the thousands of signatures in the green room, and decades of stories quietly circulated by visitors and performers who sense an, quote, echo of the night before the crash.
Mm-hmm.
So here's some interesting ones that revolve around orbs, seeing lights and stuff. Okay.
Like real orbs or dust orbs?
Well, people seeing them, I guess, with their
own eyes.
With their eyes.
Okay.
In a couple different spots, I guess. So, and this one goes to the crash site, by the way, which again, you're going to see that footage in a little while, right after we finish this. At the Royal Field, north of Clear Lake, where the plane carrying Buddy Holly, Richie Valance, and J.P. Richardson went down, numerous visitors have submitted accounts describing strange phenomena to the site, and this is the website, iowahauntedhouses.com. According to the reports collected there, some witnesses claim to have captured 3 glowing orbs on camera and in person, interpreted by some as symbolic echoes of the 3 musicians who died there on February 3rd, 1959. Others describe watching what appears to be a faint outline of a plane silently descending toward the field at night, only for it to vanish before impact. Several contributors also mention hearing low, distant cries or the sound of distressing voices carried on the wind, even though the site is surrounded by quiet farmlands. These stories are submitted anonymously or under screen names by visitors who believe they experienced something supernatural during their time at the memorial.
Okay, so the plane is interesting to me. I'm skeptical of orbs, but if it's emitting its own light or it has a specific kind of color to it, or people are seeing it with their own eyes and not just through the camera, that's more convincing to me. I definitely think because of the tragedy of that site, it could again be imprinted in the land itself. So it could be residual.
Oh, for sure.
Just happening over and over again. Not saying that the spirits of these people are enduring that again and again. That's not what we mean by that. That just means that there's some sort of imprint where it's not intelligent, there's no actual spirit involved, but it just keeps playing over the situation.
Because of the tragic thing that happened there.
Because of the tragedy, that it just keeps playing like a record player.
And we've done a bunch of cases where it's been similar things. Something really bad happens at a location and it's imprinted. I mean, one of the biggest ones is Gettysburg here in the United States. That was a big tragedy. You have a war going on and people are still seeing the battle taking place on these battlefields. When they're driving around in their cars or walking the battlefields, they can see soldiers still fighting. Now, is that really their spirits? I mean, it could be, but we tend to lean that that's more residual. It's residual, and it's just imprinted, and you're getting like a snapshot of what was happening during that day.
By the way, we're planning an investigation in Gettysburg, so stay tuned for that, because we know a lot of you have been asking, so stay tuned.
Yeah. So we wanted to share those little, ghost stories that have been reported at the Surf Ballroom, because again, we couldn't investigate. Maybe we'll go back and ask them if we can someday. I think that would be really cool.
That would be really cool. I feel like it's worth it to ask. We just don't want to disrespect anybody or the business that's going on or anything like that. It's really just whenever they get the time, we'll ask and see if they're willing to do it. But I think it would be really cool to at least try.
Yeah, I mean, we would have asked this time, but this was, like I said in the beginning, this was a total last minute thing. We were in Iowa for an event, and I was like, wait a minute, we're only like 2 hours away from Clear Lake. We have to go out here, and we did it just like that. Thankfully, they were open that day, and it was really cool to have pretty much the whole place to ourselves.
Yeah,
which was really neat.
I know you guys have been asking for more investigation videos, and we have not supplied them lately. It's just because everything that's going on with the Conjuring House that we're trying to push that mission of, we don't want to kind of deflect from that mission that's going on with Andrea and my father and things like that. And also, we're just so busy with so many things going on. When the fall season hits, that's like the time where we do a lot of lectures and investigations with people and private cases. So we just have been so busy and haven't been able to get out and film and document an investigation somewhere where we're allowed to film, because we can't do that for private cases. So we will get those to you. We promise. We're planning them right now. Well, now that it's getting colder, we'll have a little bit more time, but stay tuned.
So if you have any theories as to what could be going on at the Surf Ballroom, or any input on the stories that we read, or if you've been there yourself and you felt something, leave a comment down below in the description and let us know your thoughts. Or if you just want to say hi, do that as well. But right now, we're going to switch back over to Clear Lake. We're going to take you out to the crash site. Definitely was a surreal moment for me. Satori stayed in the car because it was really, really windy and it started to rain.
Do you see my hairstyle? This does not work well with wind, okay? My hair would be like this for the whole video. So I stayed in the car, but enjoy it.
Yeah, it was cool. So check that out, and we'll talk soon. Alright, I'm sorry for the wind, guys. It's really windy out here. We're in the middle of nowhere. We're about 6 miles away down a dirt road from the Surf Ballroom, and here's a memorial. Look at all the glasses. So that's supposed to represent Buddy Holly's glasses, and people leave glasses here as a memorial. Now you have to walk down this path here for about 5 to 10 minutes, and that's going to lead you to the crash site. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll come back to you once I get down there.
That's a long walk.
It's starting to rain, so hopefully it doesn't start pouring on me. But this is worth it either way.
Did you grab it?
Now this is private land, but the owner has been nice enough to open it to the public and allow people to walk down here.
Oh.
And then there's another little memorial down here once we get here, and there's other people here visiting as well, so it's definitely a popular site to visit. This fence to my right here is original. If you look at some of the crime scene photos, or I don't know if you'd call it not a crime scene, but a crash scene, you'll see this some of these fence posts. Wow, really windy here. Really, really windy. Wow. I feel like I'm gonna get blown away. Wow.
Very windy.
Alright, I've been walking for about 10 minutes now, and the wind picked up and the rain picked up. But again, like I said, it's totally worth it. I'm trying to block the microphone so you can hear me. But we're coming up on the site right now. It's basically in the middle of a field. I mean, there's nothing around here.
Yeah.
Nothing. But here we go. So this is the exact spot here where the plane unfortunately crashed. Right here. Wow. Alright, so here's a little memorial for the pilot, Roger Peterson. And over here is the memorial for Buddy Holly Richie Valens and the Big Bopper. Wow, and a lot of people have left little knickknacks and glasses and all different things. Very peaceful out here, even with the wind. But it's nice that they put this out here. Wow. Back up a little. Very windy. If you've seen any of the photos online, this is pretty much the angle that they were taken from.
Right here. Yeah.
And there's the path that I walked down. There's a little parking area if anyone ever comes and visits. Little visitor center. Parking area. Just a parking lot. There's no visitor center, but just a little parking lot. Safe place to park your car. And then you walk down this path for about 10 minutes and you'll end up right over here. Gee, it's really sad to think about a plane falling out of the sky right here. And the surf ballroom is that way in the airport. So it's really sad. Really, really sad. But this is a place that I've always wanted to visit and pay my respects. So I'm glad I made it out here. So thank you so much for watching this video. If it's something that interested you, I know it's a little different than our usual videos. But if you enjoyed it and you like stuff like this and want to see more of it, then let me know. And we're always traveling, so I'll try to stop at more things like this. But if you enjoyed the video, like the video, leave a comment, say hello, and please subscribe if you haven't already. It's free and it helps us out. So we'll talk soon. Satori's in the car staying dry, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. But before we let you go, we wanted to fill you in on a little of what's been going on behind the scenes.
Yes, so if you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, my father Jason Haas has started a GoFundMe to save the Conjuring house. Now this GoFundMe started because Andrea Perrin had come out with a plea asking my father to try and fight and acquire the house to open it up for everybody to enjoy again, because the house was put in a really rough spot as of recent. So there was an auction happening. My father started a GoFundMe to see if the community could come together to help make Andrea's wishes come true, and the auction was canceled, but there are still new avenues being explored and there's still really good chances out there. So any help, if you could even just check out the GoFundMe, watch all the videos. My father has been so incredibly transparent with the process. Everything he can share, he has shared with everybody. And if you would like to share the GoFundMe either on social media or word of mouth with some friends, it would mean the absolute world to everybody involved with the house. Also, if you're willing to donate, that would be amazing, but there's no obligation to. That's the beauty of GoFundMe. But thank you so much to everybody who has even checked it out or may have an interest in checking it out in the future.
And if you are interested, the link is in the description below. Talk soon.
Okay, I had to let the news end like that because it's really sad how this happens to for Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper at the surf ballroom. It's really sad how it really happens to it, and I feel bad for myself, because I know I didn't follow along, but I think I understand why, because it actually does follow with the music. And like, I mean, seeing this, like, I thought it like really helps me, you know, do a lot of like history and stuff, and you know, like, knowing this, like, I just know, man. I just had to like know that like really have a like. I know that Richie have a bad feeling, you know, going to that plane because even though that you know I had that same thing happen to me when I was like going to the plane. Like I get so very nervous about what's going to happen, like with a plane crawl. You know, was something's going to happen to the plane. You know, plane crashes and all of that. And, you know, that had me very worried. But I'm glad I did survive through it for the first time because it's never happened to me before. It's like thing or two. So. But sometimes I'm actually more sad of seeing this because now that I was actually planning on going to the Clear Lake, Ohio, to visit Surf Ballroom the first time. Because even though I get so very emotional about it because of you know seeing like this, it just like very deep in opportunities of seeing this and knowing this, like man, it's really sad. But also, other sad is I know that Cody and Satori are you know going very hard work of you know trying to like fix up the Conjuring house, you know, and it made me feel really bad because you know seeing like this, I just feel like I gotta try my best to support them because it's a lot of things that happening and you know I know like Cody and Satori get a lot of hate, but I don't think they get a lot of hate, but I don't think so because I was more positive out there because I was one of those positive people because I always here to support them for Cody and Satori if I can because you know it's just a very difficult situation like this happening and yeah but yeah man I think that's gonna be for right now but before I go there's actually one more thing I need to like tell y'all so yeah man let me know comment down below what y'all think about this and if you ever visited the surf board at Clear Lake Iowa let me know man comment down below how y'all feel because I know it's a lot of very emotional that's happening like later on so yeah but stay tuned and yeah